actually for FN from Vega Squadron. So this changes. I mean, I was about to say this changes everything, but maybe it doesn't change everything because Vitrus have a lot of tools to deal with him already. They can doom him, they can shackle him, they can chronosphere him and kill him in the chronosphere. They have ways where they can gank him. It's the kind of thing Windrange actually wants to do in the mid game. Get 1 or 2 items, then just be shutting down anti-mage as he hits his Battle Fury +1 kind of item. And Vitrus actually go back for the Chaos Knight. CI special. It's usually Illidan and Ramses who are playing this hero, but I think Yoku also plays it. I mean, I'm pretty sure all the carries in this region play the hero, so you know, why on earth not?
I am super psyched. I enjoy watching Chaos Knight, and it's another one of those heroes, right? You get a good Phantasm, you Reality Rift into the stun on the anti-mage, or stun into Reality Rift, whatever's your flavor, and he'll just get torn through. Now, of course, there are some differences in the anti-mage build. FN might decide this game looking a bit difficult, looking like there will be a lot of people trying to kill him, and go for that Vanguard build-up that we've been seeing since the changes to the Abyssal.
10 seconds
Yep,
remaining.
he definitely could start with the Vanguard. I mean, from what I've seen, have you seen Vanguard and then not
5
Battle Fury, or you
seconds
just mean
remaining.
Vanguard and then Battle Fury?
I've seen both. I've seen Vanguard, Battle Fury, I've seen Vanguard, and skipping over the Battle Fury entirely. Now, those games haven't always gone so well for the anti-mage because, of course, it's hard to get farm in those situations, but as you mentioned, it's usually the Vanguard into the Battle Fury. A lot of people seem to be preferring that build, although in games where the AM does feel that they can get away very easily, we've just seen the normal Battle Fury rush.
Yes, it's funny to think there used to be a time in Dota where Battle Fury was never bought in this hero. Vanguard into Manta was like the normal build, and then someone came up with Battle Fury and it was just like clearly more efficient. And from what I've seen now, I saw AUI at WePlay was going Vanguard into Battle Fury. It looked like I feel like to go for the really old board, the Vanguard straight Manta, the pure fighting board is a risky thing to do. You definitely risk being outfarmed, even though it's you're going to be more able to fight early on. I don't know, should we introduce the players?
That might be a good thing to do. We've got Seema the Slayer on the Disruptor, also the captain of the team. Solo on Enchantress. No one on the puck. Really excited to see him play this hero. Mag playing that Night Stalker, and finally Anti-Mage being played up by FN.
Yeah, add a G to FN and you have FNG on the offlane faces Void, or remove the FN and you have G mid lane on a Wind Ranger. Lower Dance is going to be roaming around in the jungle with the Doom. The safe lane will be No Fear, just on the ward early on, which is really valuable. He's playing Witch Doctor and Yoku on, of course, the Chaos Knight, which, by the way, I think Chaos Knight is like a pretty phenomenal pick for him in terms of like the damage output the enemy team has to deal with the Chaos Knight. If he gets farmed, his Phantasm is going to be very difficult to deal with, and this is, I almost feel like last pick of Chaos Knights is like, people don't talk about it this way, but it's like Brew or Meepo or Huskar used to be. This is like a cheese pick. You identify right at the end of the draft, hey, they don't have a way to deal with Phantasm. CK can just be one of those, if he gets enough farm, he just auto wins, and I think this might be that kind of game where they don't really have the right tools to deal with him if he gets super farmed.
No, if you're taking a little bit of harassment on Mag, but should be fine. As you said, yeah, I don't know what's the best plan here. Puck, I'm expecting to get decent farm in this mid lane. It's a matchup both of these players should be very familiar with, Windrunner versus Puck. And if he can get himself an early Veil, at least until later into the game, that's a good way of dealing with the illusions. But as you said, eventually Chaos Knight becomes a huge problem, and you've got to, most likely going to have at least a Battle Fury on the AM, but other than that, I'm not sure. You can enchant one too, I guess.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, they have some tools, they just, I don't think
we
they'll
have
be
Night
happy
Stalker taking a beating in the bottom lane. One more attack, it will be a Aloha Dance, who manages to get that first blood. And there we go.
Advantage Vitrus, and I did say we're going to have to point to when the rotations from the Doom are going to come in, and interestingly enough, that's a very early one. It's before the Doom was even level 2, he got his level 2 from the gank. Just counting on the double stun to set up so that he could come in with his Sentinel Stomp and get the stomp off. It's usually you don't expect the Doom to come in that early, and on top of that, the ward that was placed by Mag to scout out those rotations, that was found and counted early on, so Night Stalker's job in that lane can be difficult. He doesn't have an early Iron Talent, so he can't go back to the jungle. He's just gonna have to tank the ganks occasionally.
Nofia may also be tanking something. Looks like he's gonna get out just fine. And Enchantress, so Solo had some options here. It looks like he wants to be more active on this bottom lane. Maybe just gonna jungle, the Radiant jungle for a little bit here. Do you think it's worth it to have the Enchantress maybe look for the Doom or vice versa to cause some chaos in their farming?
I think the Enchantress wants to shut down the cores. We do often see Dooms going around trying to annoy Enchantresses. That's happened, but I don't think he'll go out of his way. I think Alodon's, if he's able to have an impact on lanes, that'll be enough for him, whether or not he's following around the Enchantress. Do you notice what Sema's doing? Found the Invis rune, just like standing between these towers, hoping he gets the cheap courier snipe. But the courier is oh, it's coming right now. And
unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna get it.
Is he gonna leave?
Yeah. Invis is running out.
He could just stay though. He could just stay at the high ground. And,
he's doing it.
But they're holding the courier back.
Yeah,
they
until
waited
it's
to
flying.
upgrade it. That's alright.
Well,
So
happens to the best of us.
That whole little mini game is won by Vitrus Pro.
No one doing a good job in this mid lane. Up on CS, mostly because they just taken that wave, but at the same time, Puck just wants TS above the Windrunner and doing some good harass on her, although that's what you expect. Now Disruptor headed back to the top lane. Faceless Void, already level 3, is doing actually a pretty good job getting any last hits. He's traditionally a hero who's really hard to zone from the lane.
Yeah, the Faceless Void just bought tons of regen at the start, so Disruptor used his whole mana pool basically spamming him, and the Void had a Solve and Tangos and Fairy Fire still unused, so managed to get some value out of the lane, but not that much farm, really. Just 7 creeps. He's alright. He'll be happy with what he's getting.
Also has the option to jungle. He can pick up the Iron Talon Puck, making sure he gets the regen rune. Well, they get the regen rune and Aloha Dance, taking a bit of damage, but it doesn't look like they can kill. Mag just gonna run at their faces. This is not an easy lane here for Mag. It is already the first night. Sure, he's level 3, but having very little success.
Yeah. He would like to do something during the first night, so he's moving around towards the mid lane now. He's got some mangoes, so he could slow. He doesn't have the silence leveled yet. They might go for an attempt right now.
Yeah, here we go. There's gonna be the Void, but immediately the TP in. Mag will just poke away a little bit, and both heroes backing out. Albeit, not too much loss, not too much gain by either side. What do you think of the timings in this game? Obviously, Vega, they do have an AM. He wants to make sure he gets up probably a Manta before fighting.
Yeah, so his plan is to buy Battlefield and then farm, classic anti-mage. And I think the plan for Vitrus Pro is that Chaos Knight wants to do a similar thing with his farm, but they're also going to try and apply pressure to the anti-mage once they have the right items. So Doom, once he has level 6, threaten, make those kills with the Doom. Void set them up with the Chronosphere and Wind Ranger with the Shackle. They're going to be going on these sort of 2 to 3 hero expeditions to try and gank the anti-mage while their CK gets the important items. He might even be part of the gank sometime. And I think that, again, like I was saying before, I think there's an earlier big timing for Chaos Knight than there is for anti-mage actually in this game. Anti-mage is more about like, I'm everywhere, I've got Blink, I've got Cleave, I've got Mansa, I'm slippery, you can't deal with me, and I'm split pushing all those. Chaos Knight doesn't present that kind of threat. But Chaos Knight presents a much scarier kind of, I've now hit my timing, I have a few items, and I'm just coming at you. You know, what do you have to do? What do you have to say about that? And it's going to depend on the relative farm of these two heroes quite a lot. I think if either of them get shut down, if they both get shut down, they both get their items.
I also would be really interested to see. It does feel like.
Trouble.
Oh yeah.
He's dead.
Okay. Basil Void end up going down, but we also have a gank attempt on this bottom lane. There's going to be the Reality Rift, but here comes the Puck with the Dream Coil, Hadoken through all of them, and Novia should be the first to fall. No, he's still not dead. That Buddha Restoration makes him take ages to die. Power Shot coming through. Aloha Dance using that Scorched Earth, soaking up a lot of damage. He throws his own Hadoken through, and there it is, the all forwards. Finally they get Aloha Dance, and now Yoku, stuck around for too long, may end up going down. Do they have the damage? It's not looking like it. Yoku pops the salve. And there will be TPs coming in. No fear, working his way back in. Solo taking a lot of damage, but the Puck just being slippery and ends up being a 2 for None, and then obviously
They-
another kill elsewhere.
I think they could have killed the Chaos Knight, but what it would have taken is Mag had to feed his Mango to Sema, because the Glimpse was ready, and he just didn't have the mana to Glimpse him back. And I think if you give the Disrupt to the Mango, you Glimpse him back into your whole team, they probably would have made the kill, but it's, I mean, that's, in the heat of the moment, that's a very difficult play to call out. It's not necessarily that much to criticize that they didn't, I don't know, didn't think of it, or only one of them thought of it, or something like that. In the meantime, and Anti-Mage did buy Vanguard, by the way. I noticed that during the fight.
More importantly as well, this Anti-Mage, he is now 10 CS up on the Chaos Knight because he didn't have to spend the last minute fighting for his life.
Yep, and with that Vanguard he can like happily solo zone the Void every time it comes to lane, burn out all its mana, and whenever it's got no mana it's got to be afraid of dying. Like right now, for example, I think Void could just go down.
As they have already picked him off once. The ult is at the ready. Will they be able to use it? Yes, they will. Goodbye. They're not even going to bother popping it. Just auto-attacking down. Oh, okay. I was wrong. I thought maybe they were just going to go for the auto-attack, but FN gets bored of this stuff and just Mana voids his face off. Oh, though, we have a Dream Code. Please, fight recap, please. They're going to try to pick off the Windrunner. Do they have the damage? Another Hadouken coming on through. The auto-attacks are enough. There is a Shackle onto no one, but it looks like he should be fine. Enchantress, she really wants blood, and she'll manage to get herself another kill. More shockwaves flying out from this Satyr Tormentor, and now Aloha Dance getting very low. That's the Void up in 1 second. It'll be enough. He pops the wand, but they will bring him down.
Alright, so that first net was really good for Vega. At the start we were a little bit unsure what Mag was going to get done, but there was a lot of action, a lot of kills. Didn't all have to do with the Night Stalker, there were 2 just on the Void at the top with the Anti-Mage and the Disruptor, but suddenly Vega pulled away in a big way. And there'll be a little bit of respite while Night Stalker's not level 6 and Second Night hasn't come yet. I think Vega will lay off the aggression to some extent. But you better believe that next time Night comes around, they're going to come back knocking at Virtus Pro's door, and they're going to be knocking even harder than before.
Definitely. Also, for FN, he's farming incredibly well. He's got a little shy of 450 GPM, which 9 minutes in is pretty dang good. And I wouldn't be surprised if he makes decent timing on that Battle Fury as well, despite going for the Vanguard first, so...
Yeah, and having the Vanguard actually means he could join the fights. He like if there's a fight near a tower, he could TP and join the fights, and it's quite difficult to deal with the Anti-Mage ability Vanguard. Like that's what the old build was all about. That you could farm, but you could also fight.
Another nice thing to point out is the Enchantress. She's doing much better than her counterpart Doom. She already is level 6, and farming up a Storm, going off to the jungle, probably building up drums. Expecting that out of a few different people in this game.
Yeah, it seems likely. Or Solo does use the smoke. He's got really nice creeps, the Golem to throw the first stun, the Sensor for the second one. So not sure who he's looking to gank up with this one. Might actually just break the smoke running straight into Aloha Dance. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
You realize Aloha Dance hasn't seen him yet, and Puck coming on over on to G. There's the Dream Coil. Her Windrun is about to run out. Do they have a way to stop her? Yes, they do. The Centaur Stomp, and now the Chronosphere returned, though, coming out of FNG. Does she have Focus Light? She does. She hasn't used it yet, and the Thunderstrike plus the orb will blow her up. There it is. He's stuck in the kinetic field. He's going to go down instead, and now no one takes a tumble here, but the team fight still a little in favor of Vega. They have made it a 2 for 1, a 3 for 1. Doom trying to do what he can, but Aloha Dance with no spells of CD other than the Infernal Blade, just gonna have to stand and watch.
It's the third time I've seen a fight which could have gone even worse if the Disruptor had more mana, and I'm pretty sure he's about to buy Arcane Boots, which is gonna rectify that situation. Because it's the third time they've had a fight where the Glimpse was up at the end. They could have killed an extra hero. So a small item like that, Arcane Boots on Disruptor, could make a difference and increase the momentum, the rate at which when Vega do start making kills, they just pile on more and more and more.
What do VP need to turn this one around? Because this is starting only 11 minutes in, but starting to get a little bit spooky for them. You're up against a lineup that's rolling you, but they haven't even had their AM get involved, and you've been having your Chaos Knight come to fights. Almost no avail.
Yeah, it's super bad. Like, they can't... The matchup of Chaos Knight versus Anti-Mage, you can't passively farm your way back into the game. He's gonna out-farm you, absolutely. He can go straight Battle Fury, but he's gonna get there. And then his farm rate's definitely gonna be better than yours. So, it almost feels like they do need to fight their way in, but the kind of fights they've been having have looked almost hopeless. They've looked like, how are you supposed to win a fight? I mean, we haven't seen a fight where they get good value out of any of their ultis, really. there was a nice chrono there in the river, but the chrono didn't set up for anything. If we saw a fight with like a great Doom, a great chrono, and a great Witch Doctor ulti, all of a sudden that's a fight that Virtus Pro win. And I think that's probably what they need. They probably need either a couple of pickoffs or like one pretty big successful fight. That'll definitely turn the momentum of the game around. But sitting around waiting, not gonna do it. By the way, have you looked at No Fear's items? Literally just a windlass, not even boots. 11 minutes 30 seconds. Witch Doctor has a lace. Never mind a boots, just like one shoelace.
I think it's really funny that it's called the lace. I actually got super confused. I thought, like, people were explaining to me that it's like a lace on a shoe, so it makes you run faster. Also funny that Witch Doctor has it before the boots, of course, since that's pretty effective. I like it, but I definitely feel like it could have a cooler name. It could be something cooler. I don't know. Could have been like Wind's Breath. Either way.
Yeah.
Wind's
Either way, he's not happy that he has 600 net worth at 11 minutes 30 seconds. That's the key point I'm trying to make. It's kind of a big deal because we're talking about how they need to like take a fight or something. It's pretty difficult for Witch Doctor to be involved in the fight and not just get destroyed. Like Night Stalker nukes him once, Puck nukes him once, and he's dead. But he's kind of crucial. Like he's important. He wants to get a good cask, a good ulti. So the position is in several ways quite difficult for Virtus Pro right now. Maybe pause will give them some time to sort of collect their thoughts and try and gain some composure over what they actually want to do. If they were to take a few pickoffs on anti-mage, that could be quite big, especially if they're farming in the meantime. Or if they were to take a decently sized fight. Difficult to imagine how they plan to make those things happen though. There's a smoke on their courier that's headed to the Doom, so I guess he'll meet up with someone, maybe at the mid lane, and then smoke across.
I'm not, on VP's side, I'm not as worried. I think the thing that alarms me a lot is how do you get damage into the Chronosphere. Of course they do have Death Ward, but kind of the ideal fight would be that perfect Chronosphere where there's some people on the edge so the Phantasm illusions can hit them. Because Chaos Knight, even at low levels, with the Phantasm, if you get that 50% extra illusion, you can really roll through faces. And that's what I would like to see.
Yeah, the Chaos Knight is very strong, and definitely when you have a hero like Chaos Knight with the Reality Rift max, like they could gain momentum the same way Vega have. Like if they start winning a fight, they could chase and make lots of kills instead of just one. That's something their composition lets them do. But I don't know, Vega are really good at this kind of early tempo, fast playstyle. I mean, this is why they did so well with replay. It's why they managed to come second, why they traded blows in a few games as MVP, who are experts at this playstyle. And sure enough, they're already smoked up. And
there's a glimpse into the Static Storm. Windrunner in a lot of trouble. There is smoke behind her. The Voodoo Restoration will not be enough. But there we go. They haven't got the Chronosphere yet. They'll just burn through solo. And there's the Doom onto no one. They want to catch him out. They have Time Walk in 11 seconds. I'm not sure whether they'll jump for this. The Chronosphere will be up if they go for the jump. But instead, okay, they just Chronosphere onto the two behind them, catching Mag and FN. But there it is, the Mana Boy. He needs a couple more hits on the Fear. No Fear. Turns out just one will do the trick. Aloha Dance is going down. And Yoku trying his best with these Phantasm illusions. Even with the extra one, it's just not enough. And he's going to be forced to run away, losing Mana. They figured out which one is the real Chaos Knight. They will chase him down, glimpse him backwards into a kinetic field. And again, Vega takes the fight in a dominant fashion.
See, this is the thing, like, one of the ways that Virtus Pro come back into this game, is by making pickoffs or finding opportunities to start advantageous fights. But the problem is Vega are constantly looking to fight. They even bring their anti-mage in this time. And if you're constantly looking to fight, it's very difficult for enemy team to surprise you with, oh, surprise, we're fighting you. So,
Mag runs right into them. Shackle does not latch. And Enchantress. Oh, power shot onto it. Just to be a little bit careful. Doom coming forwards. He doesn't have Doom. Just trying to harass him down, knowing they got low, but the glimpse back on him should spell the end of things.
Yeah, so Vega Squadron looking pretty solid right now. Virtus Pro, look, if things continue on their current trajectory, two big fights go Vega's way, that's like I want to say that's like almost out of reach at that point. We're not that far away, and that could happen in the next few minutes. The rate at which these teams are fighting each other, it's a tough position to be in if you're Virtus Pro, because you know you can't just play the let's split up and farm and try come back that way. It's just the heroes don't work that way. Windranger doesn't like to play that game. Anti-Mage loves to. Seeker doesn't really like either. Puck doesn't mind to. So they want to fight, but they keep losing these fights. They, you know, maybe you sneak up and catch them. You see them buying smokes, but again, look, Vega Squadron one step ahead. They're the ones smoking already. They're very happy to take the fights.
Yeah, they're going for another one. Gonna find the pickup onto the Chaos Knight. And Doom is TPing away. They should. Oh, they glimpse him right back. And Aloha Dance. He is most likely going down. He'll at least buy a lot of time.
Yeah, it's actually really, when you have all these aggressive heroes plus an anti-mage, tactically it's just really smart, because you have the anti-mage, they don't feel like they could passively farm their way back in. Because you have all the other heroes, if you're constantly looking for fights, they're not going to catch you off guard. So from a strategic perspective, I think that Vega put together a really nice draft here, and way that the game started just from the lane stage almost feels like it naturally snowballs into the state that we're now in.
Yeah, as well, looking at the net worth and experience graph, 5,000 ahead already for Vega. And AM will just increase that lead. He's already 2,000 gold ahead of the Chaos Knight.
Yep, and that's before Battle Fury, by the way. Usually that's the way that Anti-Mage gets economic gain on you, is because he has Battle Fury and he's cleaving through the jungle. But he hasn't even got his Battle Fury yet, and he's already getting a big gap. And a lot of that's to do with the fact that his team is just winning everywhere, right? They're winning with lanes, they're making kills all the time, so he has more space. But it's still an important signal in terms of like how the game is going at this early stage.
Well, for Virtus Pro, they have... I mean, we're not there yet. I think we are getting to the stage where they need to start taking team fights around towers. This smoke gank, or this gank in general, good one. That Deathwood just dropped for solo. Quick little pick up there. They can get a couple more of these. It'll put them back on good footing. I don't think they'll be getting ahead anytime soon. And they smoke immediately after that pick. Unfortunately, I believe that was right under a ward. Although Disruptor does manage to get 3 in a static storm. Where is the puck? Is there going to be a Dream Coil on through? There's the Chronosphere, but 3 caught in the Dream Coil, and they already used the Death Ward, but the Paralyzing Cost does only bounce once. Look at these lucky bounces. Mag probably in a little bit of trouble. There's another beautiful kinetic field, and Vega just playing around the VP squad. FN thinking about coming in. He doesn't have his ult. But Puck behind them with the haste, going down onto them, gonna blow up the Witch Doctor, gets doomed up, so can't jump to the other side, unfortunately. Puck in a lot of trouble. There's the glimpse back on the Windrunner. They do manage to take out Puck. But again, a 2 for 1, mid for mid, and a support.
Yeah, so it's a win for Vega, and what started off as a smoke gank for Virtus Pro. And again, I keep coming back to it, but Vega, because they're so ready to fight, they're usually in positions where the heroes can get there quickly. So even when you do catch someone out, if you keep chasing, you need to get things right. What we see there is Disruptor gets a nice kinetic field and static storm, which is actually meant to be used defensively. But as a result, in the time that he's holding people there, all his teammates come. What Yoku's trying to catch them, almost does, but not quite. And this is going to be a very early veil on the Disruptor, actually.
That's another nice thing here, right? The Disruptor's gotten so much farm this game. We often these days see the Puck go for the early Veil. Really increases Puck's damage output, also allows you to farm super fast, because Veil plus Orb and Silence obliterates creep waves. Or just Veil plus Orb and so on. But we will be instead seeing it on the Disruptor, which means that no one can go for the bigger items. Looks like thinking about starting with the Yules.
Yeah, it just wants to be that much more slippery, because you really can... You know, people talk about Doom countering Ember or Doom countering Puck or something like that. He has fast time on his ulti, and if you've got the phase shift and the Yules and the blink, all these kind of things, you can really screw the Doom in a fight. Like, he stands around trying to cast spells all the time, gets nothing done. So it can be very useful. It's just an extra. It's like, I feel like Yules is just an extension of Puck. It's almost like it fits the hero more than any other hero. It feels like natural that Puck would be able to do something like that.
And AM has gotten a sub 20 minute full treads, Yasha, Battle Fury, and Vanguard. So somebody is farming up a storm, to say the least. He is at 550 GPM.
Yeah, and he's gonna keep farming a lot faster than the Chaos Knight, and definitely the Wind Ranger, and at the moment the Puck and even the Night Stalker are ahead of the Wind Ranger. So again, the farm game is not how Virtus Pro come back in, and they know that. They're smoked in the mid lane. They want to fight more, especially while it's daytime, while Nightstalker doesn't have ulti. They might find the Nightstalker here.
Yeah, speaking of, Deathward just being dropped to finish him off, although Seema, getting ready to set up, has veiled a couple of them, but they're gonna wait it out. Puck could TP.
It's a sweet spot, right? The Chaos Knight has drum and armlets. It's a good timing for Virtus Pro right now to fight.
Yeah, they might glimpse the Doom back into a bad spot. The tower does not have glyph. I think Vega will probably give up this tower while AM continues to push the top lane. Maybe gonna just creep cut? No, looks like he's headed over to top lane.
Yeah, bear in mind this is all happening during daytime. Natural Night is coming soon, and Nightstalker has ulti again. Didn't have ulti, didn't have Natural Night at that point in time, and it's partly why Vega are kind of just like taking it easy at the moment. Anti-Mage is farming and no one else is trying to do anything, but it is Night again now, and wouldn't be that surprising to me if Vega Squadron tried to start taking the initiative again.
Yeah, Witch Doctor finally has up those boots, even has a wand and an urn, feeling rich. Is this another smoke movement? They're moving like they want to smoke, but it looks like instead they're just gonna rotate out together. And while all of this is happening, of course, Vega working on that Roshan.
Yeah, then why not? They feel pretty confident that if the enemy comes to contest here, they can probably fight them. Although they don't actually have vision of them coming in, so it's a little bit dangerous. If they get caught all in the pit all together, that could be kind of bad for them, and it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, there's the power shot. The Roach isn't quite dead yet. The Dream Coil doesn't manage to hit on enough of them. Where is the Doom? Doom gets silenced up before he can get it off, but there it is. The Static Storm manages to land on a couple of the illusions, and they're taking this Roshan. Oh, Puck feeling no such luck. Windrunner gets the Aegis. Nobody is dead on Vega, but no one doomed up. He'll probably be going down soon. If FNG has something to say about it. No one is picked off. There will be TPs out from the rest of Vega's squad. That was, of course, not the engagement they wanted.
Yeah, this is just not... I just feel like this is not the ward for rushing. I don't know if they put it up a little bit before, but I think they just need to have better vision of Virtus Pro coming. And that's... Yeah, I'm almost ready to say that the move is quite a big throw. It's like going for rush and not covering your bases with the wards, or at least getting a pick off first. It's nighttime, so you're able to have that control. They really let Virtus Pro back in with an opportunity here.
And of course, it's going to be a big exchange of network. Solo poking away at the Windrunner, who just immediately drops down the focus fire. They don't have Chronosphere. Vega should know this since it was used around the puck. And here comes AM, blowing up the Faceless Void. He'll go down. They go to glimpse backwards on the Windrunner. AM could just use the ult, but backs out. Oh, jumps back in. I think just a little bit concerned there. They'll pick her off. Hoping to burn the Aegis immediately. She does not have an escape here, so she will be going down.
And just like that, a lot of the value generated from the rush fights and killing the rush is gonna go away again. Vega Squadron gonna look like they're taking a bit of a lead again. I don't know, Virtus Pro maybe just a little bit too excited about the fact that something went well and not taking the time to collect themselves and make a calm decision about what they want to do with that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Has a good idea of where they're farming, obviously has the ward up there too, but it looks like AM's very content just to take the tower, and obviously Vega working on getting their lead back up again.
I mean, the farm game is still going well. Oh, that teammate gets
nice Chronosphere caught on the AM. There is the Death Ward as well, but immediately, the Static Storm. FN may still go down. The Paralyzing Cost bounces back to him.
Yeah, he got cast and shackled, so the Chrono wasn't the only disable.
Seema gonna try to walk it off. He may actually get out of this one, goes straight in for the TP. There's the power shot, but the TP goes off before the shackle can land. And Seema getting out of that one.
Yeah, so another small slip up for Vega maybe. They still did get the tier 2 there, where the anti-mage died, but he's first Manta now. Nightstalker's nearly finished his Ags, and these are sort of the key timings for Vega Squadron. So even though there've been these slight slips with the rush fight with this, I still feel like Vega are probably gonna just keep going at Virtus Pro. I think that they're hitting important timings where they'll feel confident to go at them. While Virtus Pro, let's see, Chaos Knight keep building towards the heart. Not doing that terribly in that regard. 2,400 gold. But
Yeah,
definitely gonna be forced to fight.
How do you feel about the heart kind of second big item after the omelet?
I think it's great. I think it's very good. I mean, he might not, actually. He could just Vitality Boost to come back to the heart later. He could get like a Mantis Star in between, which is pretty good against all of the silence. But I think the heart is fine. If you can get to it without like drawing out your progression substantially, because the heart's so expensive, the components. But I definitely think Chaos Knight's maybe the only hero in the game, but definitely for this hero, it's fine to go for early heart if you can get to it.
Well, Enchantress, she does have up the Dragon Lance, so she's doing a good job of becoming another core herself. I am taking everything out of the map.
And there's going to be a scan from Dire side, I think.
No, it's the Radiant scan.
But
I guess we're worried that maybe someone was invisible or smoked down here. Maybe they're trying to make their own smoke. Witch Doctor does have one up.
Well, here comes the smoke from Vega Squadron afterwards. Unfortunate, and now they're using their own scan. Similar position, checking the ancients. Not gonna find anything.
They were checking for the smoke up. I think both sides, it's that time of the game. We'll see who gets the jump. Like we've talked about in previous Faceless Void games, a lot of this seems to come down to how well that Chronosphere and then of course the Static Storm and Disruptor is placed. Everybody on VP should know the nighttime signaling of a 3 are caught in the coil. Blade Mail immediately activated by Aloha Dance, but they are in the Static Storm and AM on top of them. The Death Ward drop, but it's poking at the AM illusion. The solo will end up falling on the sidelines, and there it is. Death Ward in the Chronosphere though. FN not taking any damage. He'll manage to blink on out. Puck comes back in. Trying to get some damage out there. They are getting low on G, but no on the Phantasm ripping right through him. Is it him going to come back into this fight? He is at half health. No one goes down. And the urn charges from the Night Stalker not looking like they're enough to really contest this. Faceless Void is trying to chase him down still.
Anti-mage is trying to do something. Okay, there
we
go.
Yeah, he's going in. He's got the Manta back off of cooldown, and they should be able to kill off FNG.
So when all said and done, it's a mostly even trade, I think. But it was nighttime. They used Night Stalker ulti for that fight, and certainly Vega got the initiation. So I think Virtus Pro will be much happier with how things turned out. They'll feel like it could have gotten a lot worse for them. We got jumped on, we couldn't see much, they could see everything. Still got a fair trade.
The graph is really stagnating for Vega despite the AM doing a great job of pulling ahead.
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, the game is looking a lot better for Virtus Pro than it looked 10 minutes ago. Absolutely, like, ever since that Roshan attempt that went all wrong, it's not been one-way traffic in favor of Virtus Pro, but it's evened out a lot more. Anti-Mage is going to keep pulling away in terms of net worth, but like I said during the draft, the Chaos Knight might be more difficult to deal with ultimately in the long run. Once he gets another item online, he might be more difficult for Vega Squadron to have a plan for than the anti-mages for Virtus Pro, who have a lot of things that can actually lock down or at least irritate the anti-mage during a fight.
Well, Night Stalker, he's picked up the gem and finished up the Aghanim Scepter. So he, of course, just gets scarier. And again, I really like these movements by VP. They're doing a good job. Being pretty hidden. They'll go for another smoke because the Chronosphere's up.
And everyone on complete opposite sides of the map at the moment.
This is not happening. Yeah, they unfortunately have decided to check out different areas of the map. It makes sense. Night Stalker trying to see if he can't find any wards. Actually, I think he saw that ward, but he is hightailing it up top.
Yeah, I mean, it should be, with the Ags and the Gem on the Night Stalker with Nighttime, it should be that most situations are favorable for Vega. And this is scary for Virtus Pro.
Jumping in, there's going to be a Chronosphere onto Seema. Puck, though, getting ripped through by those Phantasm illusions. We talked about this. A nice static storm, but AM in a lot of trouble. FN taking heavy damage. Yoki trying to chase him, but Yoki not going to be able to pick him off. And on the backlines, Mag ripping through their Witch Doctor. Solo going to turn around now that the Healing Wisp has brought her back up some on the Enchantress. And see if they can't get the kill onto Yoku. The Night Stalker is here as well, and that will bring him down. Windrunner in a bad spot, does not manage to kill off any. Maybe can't get Solo, not quite. The power shot off the mark. Solo standing there manages to live.
Magic thyself out of
I think FN nearly killed himself with his mana void there with the blade mail. So it's managed to pull away, come back in, and by the end of the fight, it's actually a brilliant fight for Vega Squadron. Chaos Knight he had too much left to do on his own. His teammates died a little bit too quickly for his liking. I think if they survived a little bit longer, things might be different. And I think you see FNG pinging up there, and I think what he's saying is, they're asking him what he did with Chrono, and he's like, I jumped in, I caught the Disruptor, but he glimpsed me at the same time. It was like really good timing from Sima, and meant that the Void couldn't actually, nobody could do anything with the Chronosphere. And I think that is the difference maker. If the Chronosphere makes slightly more work in that fight, Vitrus Pro might actually take the fight. I mean, they take out the pack early on. The Chrono takes up one other hero. Imagine Disruptor's ulti wasn't in that fight. It's a very, very different fight.
Yeah, it's not looking so grim for VP, even though they did just lose an important fight. Oh, Doom jumping in, can't quite get the Doom off. Silenced up now, running forward. He doesn't pop the blade mail for any of that. And that's a dream call to try and get them on out. The Chronosphere isn't up for another 12 seconds. No one should just be able to use that phase shift to blink away. There's a Shackle though, catching out FN. There's the Doom, and they should bring down the AM. They managed to get the Nokia in return, but that's not worth it. Chronosphere onto 2. Windrunner coming in with the follow-up damage. Can she line up the Shackle? She's in the Chronosphere. It's not quite looking like she can get it, and she'll get glimpsed backwards, but they still manage to get the Disruptor's mega kill streak. And Enchantress in a bad spot. She's gonna get reality rifted. Finally, someone poking away at her. She is gonna take a while to die because of the touchable, but they'll manage to bring Solo down.
Yep, so very big fight goes in Virtus Pro's favor just after another big one went in Vega's favor. It's not quite as big because Vega killed everyone, but the fact that it comes after kind of makes it bigger because they're richer when you kill them than you were when they killed you, kind of thing. And this is just classic Vega versus Virtus Pro. They always have these games where, like, even if one team ends up stomping the other team, there's always back and forth kind of feeling to fights for at least some stage in the game.
So, Aloha Dance, feeling probably pretty good. All of VP, I'm pretty good about that one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Faceless Void, it's going to be another Monta Faceless Void game from the looks of things.
Yeah, I think it's a good build on the hero. It makes you a little bit tanky. Especially in this game, there's a lot of silences, so you're saying in the previous game about taking stuff off. Definitely be relevant in that sense this game, but also just combat helps you fight.
Yeah, it's actually, it's really nice here, as you said, for, there are the puck silence, there's of course the silence coming out from the Night Stalker, which is literally years, 8 seconds at night, so that's always really difficult to deal with. They will try to sneak the Roshan. This didn't go so well for them last time. VP are walking out towards it. Can they take it fast enough?
Night Stalker's bought a Ghost Scepter. It's quite interesting. They're trying to make it more difficult for Chaos Knight to pick targets to initiate on.
Oh goodness, there's the
Here
glimpse back so the Doom can't get in. And are they just gonna let VP? I don't think they want to.
Well, they definitely don't want to, but they might be forced to.
Well, they have good use. There's the Marine Coil on to 3. There's the Chronosphere catching up 2. They don't catch the key hero. The Static Storm is down. Windrunner already being picked up. Deathward just going on illusions, and they stop it with a glimpse. And that Chronosphere, there was no damage. Yoku's going to fall here. They'll lose the Witch Doctor. Nophia just trying to wander around. And 4-0, and Vega gets a Roshan. That's how you take it.
Yeah, this quite often happens actually. The team that's more like inside rush and unsure about their positioning when the fight starts is often the team that ends up losing the fight. I think that's what happens there. Like, even though the Void ended up getting a sort of decent Chrono, Disruptor got a really nice build. Like, the team that's approaching the team that's closer to the rush but has better understanding of like where their enemies are, how to spread out, how to position to control them. And that's what ends up happening. Also, the CK ulti was kind of like just spread through the rush, but I think they realized, hey, my illusion's quite rush, we're kind of wasting the Phantasm. And as they pull out and decide they want to like maybe either pull back or go for a fight, Puck catches the initiation.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Really
attack.
well done there from no one. And it will allow them to get some damage onto this tower. Him actually jumps aggressively forward using the Abyssal Blade onto a Aloha Dance. Blade Mail is active, and they will be able to get the kill despite it. While the Mortar Illusions just continue burning a little bit of mana on the rest of VP. Paralyzing Toss comes out onto FN, but he should feel safe to get the racks here, having the Aegis. As well, just 600 gold short of that Aghanim Scepter could possibly be what it would turn around this base defense. Paralyzing Cask onto FN, no fear. Maybe thinking about just dropping the Death Ward to try and deter them, but Puck goes in, silences off a few of them, and now they lose God in the ult. They're gonna lose Yoku as well. Yeah, a beautiful Static Storm. This should be a full lane of racks, maybe more. There's the buyback on the Chaos Knight. Faceless Void running around, does have Chronosphere in 3 seconds, but Vega's gonna be out of the base in 3. There's the Glyph.
And Wind Ranger can't buy back, and Witch Doctor doesn't have ulti, so even if you get a Chrono here, Chaos Knight's not going to do anything into the Chrono.
And unfortunately for VP, no real defense available there. That's going to put them, when this draft settles down, closer to 20,000 net worth behind 14,000 experience.
Yeah, so again, I mean, from the start of the game, the trajectory's kind of favored Vega. There have been a few pretty sizable hiccups going back, but each time it feels like we never get to the point where Virtus Pro are like happy. They irritate Vega a little bit, they pull themselves a bit closer, but they never quite get to Vega's level, and we're now at a stage where, you know, another 1 or 2 big fights, all of a sudden the game could be over. So it's starting to become much more decisive. We're at that point in the game where the strength of heroes like I mean, look at Anti-Mage's farm. Just look at his net worth compared to the Chaos Knight. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, what, 3,000 gold shy of doubling? He is doing incredibly well there. There will be a pickup though onto God. Again, the Windrunner goes down. Still no buyback, and this is just going to put her further behind. Now she's 700 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter. There'll be a glimpse backwards, catching off the Witch Doctor, and there is now nothing to put damage into the Chronosphere.
Yeah, so just not been G's game, really not been able to dominate. Wind Ranger again, I mean Wind Ranger almost likes the Chaos Knights. It's just a core that doesn't want to fight from behind. It's a core that doesn't like casually flash bomb some camps. It's wants to be able to make those ganks, not be the one that's getting ganks. And unfortunately that's how the game started. That's the concept that
Out onto the Night Stalker, but it's looking like Aloha Dance. This will be his death throes. He has no more mana. They don't care about that Blade Mail. He will just slowly go down. He is distracting them from the racks, but Enchantress poking at him with the lost hit. GG's are called by no fears. The Static Storm goes over the Chaos Knight. They'll pick off the Witch Doctor. Will they be able to get the Chaos Knight before the throne explodes? Maybe. They're working. Nope. Throne explodes, and we'll see Vega beat up a game headed into the second match of the set.
Yeah, I just want to say fantastic play this game by Sima the Slayer, captain of Vega Squadron, like really making a lot of good plays from the lane stage, harassing the Void, making those 2 early kills with the Anti-Mage, all of the ganks, all of the fights. I don't think I saw a single Static Storm that whiffed. They all looked really good to me. The kinetic fills look really good. Once he had the mana for it, the glimpses were insane. And having only 1 death on a support hero in a game where your team is fighting non-stop, involved in 33 kills, only getting 1 death, I think he had a really great game on the Disruptor.
Yeah, not only the Disruptor, but the AM. In the first 20 minutes, he was 4-0-1. I mean, that's just not usually the type of involvement you see from an AM. Obviously, this Vanguard